Chesterfield are officially in FC25 after gaining promotion to League 2 last season. And they are killing it so far this year as they are sat mid-table in League 2. But they have only won 5 trophies in their entire club history, so today I'm going to change that. As for the next 10 seasons, I'm going to take charge of Chesterfield. The goal is to climb the ladder of English football, win as many trophies as possible, and ultimately make them Europe's most dominant club. But the transfer and takeover wheel are back to make my life either way easier at Chesterfield or basically impossible. So here we are, guys, season 1 of this takeover with Chesterfield, and this is the team that we have loaded into. And truth be told, guys, this is actually a pretty solid team for League 2. Don't get me wrong though, we've definitely got an age problem. Look at how many players are in their 30s in this team, man, well over a third of it. But it's not all doom and gloom here at Chesterfield. Armando Dobra plays for them. He's 23, 63 rated, and he's got that something special, so hopefully we can unpackage that potential. Lewis Gordon looks solid too, 63 overall at 23 years old. Devon Tanton as well, but the only issue with him, he's currently on loan to us. But that's another problem we've got. 5 of our players right now are currently on loan to us, and it's no coincidence that these 5 players are the highest potential ones in the team. But the budget isn't bad at all. 1 million to spend in season 1, but if you've been keeping up, guys, you'll know that I aren't in charge of my transfers. Because until we make Chesterfield a Premier League team, this transfer wheel will be dictating how many transfers we're allowed to make each and every season. But once we're a Premier League side, this takeover wheel will quite literally take over from the transfer wheel, which will make every season unpredictable. But the question is, guys, how long is it going to take for us to take this Chesterfield side from League 2 all the way to the Premier League? I guess we're about to find out, but before we do anything else, we're going to sort the tactics out. And I'm going custom again with a 4-2-3-1 wide, counter-attacking build-up style with a very defensive approach, with our line being very deep. As for our player instructions, they really do help with the counter-attacking style of play. Our DMs in defence are really solid at the back, but our front 4 could not be more attacking if we tried. And after meddling, this is, in my opinion, our strongest team that we can feel going into season 1 prior to making any signings and prior to spinning that transfer wheel. But honestly, how many transfers do we actually want? We only have 1 million to spend after all, don't we? And we have to figure out what to do with these loan players, man, because honestly, I could sign all 5 of these and be happy with it. I suppose we're about to find out though, guys, as we spin the wheel for season 1. Okay, you know what? I'll take that. 3 transfers in season 1. I mean, 1 million on 3 transfers. That is definitely going to be a stretch, but I feel like we can make this work. Because I'm not messing around with Chesterfield, guys. I'm getting rid of all of our Goldie oldies. I mean, in fairness, the players that I am selling right now, I wouldn't be using in the team anyway. And there we go. For the most part, I've been able to sell most of the players on that transfer list. There were, however, 2 players I just couldn't get rid of. Mike Jones and Paddy Madden being the 2. I mean, to be fair, it does make sense. Mike Jones is 36 and Paddy Madden's 34. But that doesn't matter, guys. We've got 4 mil to spend now in season 1 on 3 different transfers. Now we've just got to figure out what we're doing with that money. Now, guys, I've looked at the loan players we've currently got, and there's only one I'd like to sign permanently, and that is Dylan Markande from Blackburn. Only 22, already 65 overall. And with his market value being less than $1 million, I reckon we can get him cheap as chips as well. And that's exactly what we did, as we only had to spend 800,000 on him. And just like that, he's officially a Chesterfield player, but we've now got 2 transfers left to make. And call me crazy, but I'm not bothering with a new keeper just yet, because right now we've got Ryan Boot and we've got Max Thompson on loan to us. And looking at this team, guys, let's be real, we aren't fighting for promotion anytime soon, so whilst that's the case, I reckon we focus on other areas of the team. For example, our right back role, where realistically, guys, the options that we've got aren't that good in the slightest, are they? And with us rocking this formation specifically, we're going to need a new cam, because quite frankly, we don't actually have one. But thankfully, with us having 3 million to spend, I don't feel like this will be too much of an issue. And it isn't, guys, because I found 61 overall cam Eamon. He's 19 years old and his contract's expiring as well. This guy looks like a future baller. And after spending only 450,000 on him, we really can't complain. As for our right back, Terence Kudu looks amazing. 19, already 64 overall. He will cost quite a bit because his market value is 1.1 million, but I reckon long term he will be absolutely worth it. And there we go. After signing Terence Kudu on a 5-year deal for £1 million, that's our transfer window done. And looking at this team heading into our first year in charge of Chesterfield, I reckon we can actually do pretty decent. I know we aren't going to be fighting for promotion, but we can definitely be competitive. Now, granted, some players in this team are in their early 30s, but I feel like with Chesterfield, we have to take a different approach. Because as you can see, most of our old players in the team are actually some of our highest rated players, so it just makes sense to use them whilst they are still decent. And then when season 2 comes around, we can focus on replacing them then, but for now, they're in the team, and hopefully by the end of this year, we'll have done a pretty decent job in League 2. And you know what? I reckon we have, guys. We're 17th at the end of the campaign, a good amount of points away from the relegation zone. I mean, we expected this. We aren't fighting for promotion in season 1. That's for season 2 and season 3, remember. But we got battered by Bradford in the FA Cup. But we did make it to round 3 of the Carabao Cup before Wrexham knocked us out on pens. And fair play, we made the quarters of the BSM trophy before Walsall knocked us out. Are we actually going to be able to win this trophy with Chesterfield? Only time will tell, guys, but as you can see from the team, the players that we've brought in have actually done a great job, but as you can also see, the aging players are definitely beginning to show their age. I mean, look at these ratings, guys. 59 overall for Paddy Madden, 65 rated for Che Dunkley, 64 rated John Fleck. I mean, next year, somehow, we are going to have to address this. The stats, to be fair, also need to be addressed because, quite frankly, they are absolutely appalling. Maybe that is a little bit harsh though, guys, because we already knew that this team wasn't in a position to fight for promotion, so the stats aren't going to look that good, are they? But if our buddy next year is up to scratch and that transfer wheel is on our side, season 2, we are definitely making that push for promotion to League 1, mark my words. But before we get to season 2, if you're enjoying this takeover with Chesterfield, drop this vid a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. Now, guys, we've just arrived into season 2. We've got 3 million to spend, and honestly, that isn't bad for a League 2 side. But to be honest, I plan to increase that budget because there's some players in this team that are getting on a bit that I'm planning to get rid of to cash in on. But as it turns out, Che Dunkley is the only player I can actually sell because all the others, and I'm not joking, are planning on retiring at the end of this year. Will Griggs retiring, Paddy Madden's retiring, Tom Naylor's retiring. You literally cannot make this up. We are quite literally a retirement home at this point. Is it even worth selling Che Dunkley at this point? He's only worth 350 grand. We're going to get maximum 400k for him. You know what? We'll just leave him on the transfer list. If we sell him, we sell him. If we don't, we'll just use him in the team. But right now, we have 3 million to spend and no idea what to do with it. So let's go over to the transfer wheel. Now, if I have it my way, 2 would be decent. 3 would be amazing. Oh my God. 4 is perfect though. We've got 4 transfers for season 2, which means we're going to be busy, guys, because I want this Chesterfield side fighting for promotion this year. And the way to do that is by improving our defense. So I've just spent 650,000 on Ben Huning. Only 20 years old and 64 rated already. I reckon we give this guy a couple of years and he'll turn into a bit of a beast for Chesterfield. I've also just spent a further 650,000 on another centre-back called Arnes Cardeclesia. He's only 19, standing at 6'4", and he's 63 overall. Him and Ben Huning at the back aren't going to be easy to get past. I've also found Liam Charles, who looks like a great CDM, only 21, 63 overall, and his contract's running out. We all know we can't say no to a deal like this, as I've only had to spend 550,000 to sign him on a 4-year deal. And just look at the team now, guys. We've basically turned Chesterfield from a retirement home to a team full of youth talent in just 2 years. But don't think I've forgotten about our keeper situation. Paco Aguilar's going to be our new goalie, only 18, 67 overall, and considering he's a free agent, we really can't say no to this. And just like that, guys, that's our 4th and final signing of season 2. And I'm feeling very confident this year that not only are we going to finish way higher than 17th, we could potentially get promotion if everything goes our way. I mean, granted, we do have our striker Will Griggs retiring at the end of this year, but we can always sort this out in season 3. The rest of the team, however, is nowhere near retirement, guys. I feel like season 2 is definitely going to knock season 1 out the park. But it has to be said, guys, the end of season stats don't look too promising. I mean, Dobra is our top goal contributor with 19 goals in 43 games. That's not that good, is it? But looking at this team, guys, it looks absolutely amazing for a League 2 side. Maybe those stats are misleading. Guys, the stats were misleading. We are promoted to League 1 in our second year in charge of Chesterfield. Get in! And with how good the team is right now, we could be looking at back-to-back promotions if everything goes our way in season 3. No fairy tale FA Cup run though, as Walsall knocked us out in round 2. And not counting knock us out in round 1 of the Carabao Cup. And we finished rock bottom of our group in the BSM trophy. Go bloody figure. But going into season 3, all we really need is a better CDM than Old Daka and a better striker than our retiring one, Will Grigg. And honestly, I think we're set. We just need the budget and the transfer wheel to be on our side, because right now they're the only thing stopping us from getting back-to-back promotions. So with that being said, let's spin the wheel for season number 3. Oh, this doesn't look good. 1 transfer for season 3. Come on, man. Give me a break. And we've got 3 million to spend this year, man. That would have been perfect for 2 or 3 transfers. And let's be honest, looking at the team, we all know exactly where that money's going, don't we? We have to get a striker. Kane Drummond is our best and only striker at the minute, and he's not even 60 overall. I suppose the good news is we have got all this money to spend on 1 striker, so that means we can get an absolute baller. And guys, I think I found him, Leonardo Vonek from the 3rd tier of German football, 69 overall at 22 years old. Honestly, for League 1, I reckon he's going to absolutely kill it. And there we go, £2.2 million later, that's our transfer window done. And looking at the team now going into season 3, I don't personally feel like we're going to get promotion, but I definitely don't think we're going to be a pushover. But whilst promotion might be out of our reach this year, next season it might not, because look at the average age of our highest rated players, man. The amount of potential in this team right now is insane. So honestly, I don't think it really matters where we finish this year. It's really next year we need to be focusing on. Maybe not though, guys, because look at the state of these stats at the end of season 3, especially Leonardo Vonek, man. 33 goal contributions in 51 games. What a striker. Guys, I'm going to level with you now. I actually feel like we've done a madness this year. I feel like we may have just made the playoffs. Never mind the playoffs though. We've won League 1. We have officially got back-to-back promotions with Chesterfield. I am beyond gas right now. I know we've got a good team. I've literally just shown you how good it is, but I did not think it was this good. We even made it to round 4 where United just about knocked us out of the FA Cup. We did only make it to round 2 of the Carabao Cup though. And we aren't winning the BSM trophy with Chesterfield, as Barrow have knocked us out in round 2 on pens. But looking at the bigger picture, we have got Chesterfield in 3 years from League 2 to the Championship. That is a pretty decent achievement. But the teams we're facing next year in the Championship are no joke. I mean, these are the teams that just about scrape survival, and these lot are honestly pretty solid as well. I mean, granted, we have got a good side, don't get me wrong, but we need that transfer wheel and the budget to be on our side once again next year to make sure that we don't get our backsides handed to us. So let's kick this season off with a spin of the good old transfer wheel, and okay, I'll take that. 2 transfers for our first year in the Championship. It definitely could have been worse. We've got 6 mil in the budget as well, guys, so 2 transfers, 3 million apiece. That definitely could have been worse. But now we've got to figure out where to put that 6 million, and I feel like looking at the team, one position stands out more than others. And that's where Darren Oldaka plays in that CDM role. I mean, it says he's got something special, but I feel like that something special's ran out. I also think Lewis Gordon's time in the starting team is up. I mean, he's in his mid-20s, granted, but he's only 68 overall, and he's by a mile the weakest link in that back line. Now, you could argue that replacing either one of our centre-backs is a good option as well, but I've seen their development plans, and they're still growing very quickly. So this 6 million is going on a new fullback and CDM. So far as well, we've spent this money really wisely, and I feel like we've got to continue to do so in the Championship. And that's exactly what I've done by spending 2.3 million on left-back Sebastian Borza. He's much younger and better than our current left-back, and for only 2.3 million, we can't really argue with that. I'm also signing Jonathan Roux, a CDM from France who's only 19 and 69 overall. I think this guy's got a massive future ahead of him. And there we have it, 2.3 million later, that's our transfer window done. And whilst I am loving the looks of this team, guys, as we head into our first year in the Championship, Championship, I definitely don't think we're going to repeat what we managed to do last season. I mean, I'm looking at the Championship and Bournemouth are in this league, so are Leicester City, so are Sheffield United and Southampton. Those are 4 teams alone that could kick our backsides. Do I want this team to fight for promotion this year? 1,000,000%. However, I just don't think it's going to happen this season. What I'd like us to do this year, though, is to be competitive. And that's exactly what we've done, guys. We are almost smack bang mid-table and only 11 points away from actually being in the playoffs. Not bad for a newly promoted side, guys, but next year we will be gunning for promotion. As this year we have a decent showing in the FA Cup, making it to round 4. And we made it to round 3 of the Carabao Cup as well. To be fair though, guys, looking at this team, am I wrong in saying we should have done better? Because I feel like the team's way too good just to be mid-table. Saying that though, there was 2 players carrying the boat this time. Leonardo Vonich, 32 and 2 for him, and 15 and 3 for Armando Dobra. The thing is, going into next season with Chesterfield, I actually don't know what to do with it. I'm really happy with pretty much every single position in this entire squad. Saying that though, maybe we should replace Kordat Legia with somebody better. I mean, he's definitely the weakest link in the entire team. And despite him performing really well this year, maybe Dobra's time's up. It'll take him 30 weeks to become a better player now. There's a lot of decision making and thinking to do in regards to what we do next year, guys, but that is also budget depending and transfer wheel depending, remember. So with that in mind, let's kick season 5 off by spinning the, oh my god, that is awful. 1 transfer in season number 5. Wheel man, do me a favour. And we've only got 4 million to spend. You'd think we're still in League 1, guys. We're a Championship side now. But now that we can only use that money on 1 transfer, that changes things a little bit for season 5. Because I was going to replace Armando Dobra as well as bring in a centre-back, but right now our centre-back situation is far more important than our left winger one. The thing is though, we've only got 4 million to spend, and despite us only being able to spend this on 1 transfer, that's not going to get us that much, is it? But it could buy us Hugo Anglada from the 2nd tier Spanish football, 73 overall, 24 years old. His market value is 3.5 mil though, so if we are to make this deal happy, we'll have to throw a player into it. So I'm throwing 3 mil into this deal with Kordat Legia. I mean, we're replacing him, so it kind of just makes sense. Question is, are they going to accept? No, they want straight cash. We can't afford that. I mean, maybe if we go for 3.25 million, they might budge a little bit, but I just don't think they're going to. 3.55, we can't afford that contract, man. We've got to go for somebody else. Luckily, though, I've spotted Nelson Abbey from Olympiacos, mid-20s, 73 overall, and he'll cost between 4 and 2 million. We might just be able to pull this off. I'm offering the same deal as last time. Are they going to accept it? No, but they only want 50. What? That is the wackiest return offer I've ever seen. I mean, I'm going to accept it, but that just seemed so pointless. But the important thing is, we've got our centre-back. We spent our 1 transfer for this window, which means it is officially done. Truth be told, though, I'm still not convinced we can pull promotion off this year, man. I mean, maybe we might get the playoffs, but that might be all we get. To be fair, though, if Leonardo Vonich has another season like his last couple, we might just get promotion via him alone. And guys, for 3 years running, he's had an insane year. 32 goals, 7 assists in 50 games. He's legitimately a goal machine. We can't forget Dylan Markande with 19 and 6, Dobra with 13 and 4, 8 and 6 for our left back as well. To be fair, looking at this team, I feel like I've got to change my mind. I absolutely feel like we've got a shot at promotion this year. And we've actually pulled it off. We're 2nd in the Championship. We have got our 3rd promotion straight up to the Premier League. Get in. Oh my god, that only took us 5 years as well, man. Chesterfield, you're a different breed. Still no FA Cup fairy tale as we made it to round 3 this time. And we put up a really good fight against City in the Carabao Cup, but unfortunately we get knocked out in round 3. But I can't believe what we've done with Chesterfield. Premier League football after 5 years. That's insane. But now we're up against the big boys of England: City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, aka the bottle jobs. And from now on, we are dealing with the takeover wheel as we are now officially a Premier League team. And we all know how unpredictable that takeover wheel is. It could make this Chesterfield team one of the best teams in the world, or it could very easily make it one of the worst in the Prem. So here we are, guys, season 6 with Chesterfield, and it is official. We are now in the Premier League. But we haven't got that promotion money, guys. 32 mil is all we've got. I mean, it is definitely more than quadruple what we've been having so far, so I can't really complain. But we just got promoted. Give us a bit more. But as for where we're putting it right now, I do feel like a better centre-back partnership than these pair wouldn't go amiss. I feel like for the Championship, they're amazing, but for the Premier League, they're just not good enough. However, guys, we haven't spun that takeover wheel yet, and this 32 million that we've got right now could very easily turn into nothing once we've spun it. So with that being said, let's spin the wheel for the first time in this takeover. New owners. Okay, new owners. They've given you an extra 150 mil to spend. That's amazing. So now we've got 182 million to spend. Guys, I feel like we're going to do pretty well for our first season in the Prem. Now, we're definitely buying new centre-backs. That's a given at this point, but I'm also thinking about buying a new left midfielder for Dobra. I was going to do it last year, but we couldn't because we only had one transfer. But this year, there's no excuse. But once we sorted those three positions out, if we've got any money left over, we'll then go back to the team and see where we can further improve it. But for now, I want to focus on our centre-back, so I'm signing Lucas Beraldo first. Only 25, 84 overall, and as you can see from this signing, ladies and gents, I am not mucking around in our first season in the Prem, as he is our first signing of Season 6, costing us 45 million. I'm also signing Pau Sabasi from Man City, only 22, 81 rated, got bags of potential, and his contract's running out. This guy's a bargain. And I wasn't joking either, he just cost me only 33 million. And there we go, our backline for now is pretty damn solid. We just need a better left midfielder, and then we can go from there. But as for that left midfielder position, I've just spent 29 million on Mikey Moore. A very good deal in my opinion, only 21, 80 overall, and he's showing great potential. I'm just praying to God he's got a lot of potential, otherwise that's 20 odd million down the drain. So that's our centre-back sorted out and our left midfielder, and the beauty of it is we still got loads of money to spend. 62 million to be exact, so now the question is, where do we put that money? Well, I've got a bit of an idea, guys. I'm thinking we replace Jonathan Roux in the starting 11. We send him out on loan for a couple of years, and hopefully when he comes back, he'll be able to slot straight into the starting 11 with his current replacement. And who's his replacement? None other than Romeo Lavia from Chelsea, in his mid-20s himself, 84 rated, and because his contract's running out, he'll cost between 39 and 28 million. He's gonna be a bargain. And once again, I wasn't joking. We only had to spend 30 million to sign him on a 5-year deal. But we've still got 27 million to spend, and I feel like right now we're not in a position to just throw that money away. We've got to spend it whilst we've got it. And the only three positions I can think of improving is our right midfielder, our right back, and our left back. But I've checked all their development plans, and all three of them are still actually looking good. But Dylan Markande is the eldest out of the three, so out of them, it makes the most sense to replace him, which really does suck, because if I'm not mistaken, he's actually our first signing at Chesterfield. But like I've said before, sometimes in career mode, you gotta do what you don't want to do. So I am signing Martin Di Carvalho from Nottingham Forest. Only 20, 79 rated as well. But he does cost between 26 and 35 million. So in order to make this deal happen, you guessed it, we'll probably have to throw a player into this deal. So I'm offering 19 mil alongside none other than Dylan Markande. I mean, it does suck, but it is what it is. To be fair though, Forest might not even go for this. Oh yeah, they definitely went for that. Sorry Dylan Markande, but you're getting bye-bye. As we've just signed Martin Di Carvalho on a 5-year deal to wrap up our transfer window. And just look at this team now, guys. Oh my goodness, I'm not even going to lie to you. I feel like European football's not far away around the corner. To be fair, even if we don't get European football this year, we've still got a long way to go in this takeover with Chesterfield. It is inevitable at this point. But European football isn't happening yet, as we are 13th in the Premier League, and you look at the points difference, we were only 4 points from being relegated. Oh my god, we might have been 5 places above it, but 4 points away from it. Yeah, we need to improve on that in Season 7. We also got knocked out straight away in the FA Cup. And it's the same thing in the Carabao Cup. Oh my god, we have been humbled this year. But am I the only one who's confused at that? This is by a country mile our best and strongest team yet this is the season we do the absolute worst. To be fair though, even Vonnick struggled this year. 40 games he played and only got 16 goal contributions. That's literally half of what he's done last 3 years. But one thing I will say, that takeover wheel saved our backsides, because even with that money, we just about survived the Prem by 4 points. We've just got to hope it's on our side next year, otherwise we may actually get relegated if we aren't careful. So let's go to the wheel to start Season 7 off. What is in store for us this year? Wheel's choice. Only sign players from outside the top 5 leagues. I mean, is that a good thing? Because that seems kind of neutral. Either way, we've got 45 million to spend, but we can't spend a penny of that from players inside the top 5 leagues. I don't feel like I need to explain what they are. I feel like we all know what they are at this point. As my first sign is going to be from SK Sturmgrass, Mika Burev, a striker who's 80 overall, 27 years old, and his contract's running out, guys. You know I can't say no to a bargain. I'm also signing Stelios Androu, 27 years old, 78 overall, and with a name like that, you can't not sign him. And £25 million later, they both now play for us. And our bench is looking much better because of that, but we are missing a second choice keeper, which is why I'm signing Nicholas Herdal, 78 overall at 29 years old. Like I said, guys, we're after a second choice keeper, and he fits the bill. And just like that, our transfer window is done after spending £9 million on Nicholas Herdal. Now, granted, we haven't been able to improve our starting 11, but our bench now actually does look way better. And maybe we'll do better in this season because of that. Saying that though, this team isn't exactly bad, is it? We surely should have a better year this season than we did last. And you know what? We did have a better season than last. We finished mid-table once again, but this time we were only 8 points away from European football. As for the FA Cup, guys, it's another stinker. Reading knocked us out. But we made the semis of the Carabao Cup. We lost 5-3 on aggregate to Chelsea, but that is much better than usual. But looking at the team, guys, so it bloody should be. I mean, our real weaknesses are our CDM Charlies and our right back Kudu. Aside from that, we are world class. The stats, however, don't look too amazing. I mean, Vonich had a shocker this year. This has actually been his worst season for us so far. But as I've said, we were only able to buy players for our bench this time. I really do feel like if we were able to sort our starting 11 out a little bit more, we'd have defo got European football with Chesterfield. But I suppose that is up to the wheel, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? As, oh no, caught cheating, what's this? You know the drill. Transfer, are you taking the mick? We just need a better right back and a CDM, and I will literally be happy. Wheel, for God's sake, give me a break. I mean, granted, we only had 38 million to spend this year, but that could have at least gotten us a right back. That alone would have absolutely got us top 6 football. This sucks, man. I feel like the wheel right now really is against us at the minute. I just hope that the boys can pull it off on the pitch despite what we're going through. And despite us being shafted by the wheel, we've got European football for season number 9. Chesterfield are finally in Europe. And do you know what I've just realised? Fulham won the league and we were only 3 points away from actually doing it. Literally, we'd have won it on goal difference. Oh my lord, what on earth is going on in this career mode? Still no FA Cup glory as Leighton Orient knock us out this time. And QPR knock us out of the Carabao Cup. Bloody brilliant. But I've got to say, despite us not being able to do anything with this team for basically 2 years now, it is looking world class. The stats are steadily improving as well. I mean, Di Carvalho got 27 goal contributions this year, fair enough. But with us now finally qualifying for Europe, we need that takeover wheel to be on our side more than ever next season. Because whilst this team is holding its own in the Premier League, the Champions League is a different kettle of fish. If we aren't able to make improvements to this team in season number 9, we may get knocked out before we even have a chance. So here we go, season 9 of 10 of this takeover. Are we going to get something good? +5, what's this? All your starting 11 players get a +5 in their rating, but no signings. You've had enough. Honestly, I agree. We've defo had enough. Because even though we've got 115 million in our budget, look at the state of this team now that we've improved everybody's overall by 5, man. There's no excuse now. We should win the Premier League title and the Champions League easily. But apparently Chesterfield didn't get that memo. We finished 3rd in the league this year, 7 points behind league leaders Liverpool. I mean, I personally think we've got the best team in England, so I don't know how we haven't won it. We still can't win the FA Cup either. Newcastle knocked us out straight away. But we've won the Carabao Cup. We beat City to do it 4-2 as well. That's our first trophy won with Chesterfield in so long as well. And it might not be our last because we finished 4th in the league phase of the Champions League. By the way, Fulham must have one of the most disgusting teams of all time. They're killing it at the minute. But so are we as we beat Stuttgart in the round of 16. But lose to Atletico on pens in the quarters. Come on, man. Really? I mean, we did lose to the winners, I suppose, so that's not all that bad. But I don't see how this team's only won 1 trophy tougher this year, man. FC25 in comparison to FC24 is so much more harder. But you look at these stats and you think we'd won the double from them. I mean, look at Carvalho, 44 goal contributions in 56 games is outstanding. But right now, guys, we've yet to win the Premier League and the Champions League, and the worst thing is we've only got one more year in charge to pull that off. So the question is, guys, is this wheel going to be on our side in our final year in charge, or is it going to be completely shafting us? Well, it's time to find out as we're spinning it for the final time in this video. Aging, what's this? Okay, your best player just turned 40 years old. Happy birthday, make only one signing too. Come on, man. I can't believe it. Di Carvalho is our highest rated player. We're going to have to turn him 40 years old. Are you taking the mick? Just look at that, man. 40 years old. Still one of the world's best, fair play, but I feel like that overall is going to dwindle like mad this year. But we do have 186 million to spend, and the wheel did say we could use it on one signing. And obviously, I feel like replacing Carvalho is the right move. I mean, look at his freaking market value. It's gone down by 67%. But the question is, who do we spend this 186 million on? I think I know exactly who to spend it on. Lamine Yamal, 25, the exact same rating as Di Carvalho, just 15 years younger. He will cost between 250 and 181 million, but that's where Di Carvalho comes in. Because I'm offering 150 alongside Di Carvalho. He's worth 63, so that works out at 213 million. And honestly, I'm not even forced if I'm overpaying. Oh my god, they don't want him. This is our last chance to make this work, guys. Jonathan Roux alongside 169 million, but I've got a feeling they ain't going to accept this. They're going to take some time to think about it. So in other words, they're not going to accept it. What did I tell you? 239.2 million is what they want for him. We simply can't afford that. The problem is there's literally no better right winger right now than Lamine Yamal, so it's absolutely pointless in my opinion trying to replace Di Carvalho. I mean, maybe we should go for a new right back because Kudu is actually somehow the weakest link in the team at 86 overall. And I think Malo Gusto is the perfect replacement. 30 years old, but he's 88 overall. Got to be the best right back in the game at this point. And there we go. For 131.2 million, Malo Gusto now plays for Chesterfield. And this is how the team looks heading into our 10th and final year with Chesterfield, ladies and gents. And honestly, if we don't win the Prem in the UCL this year, we'll never do it. And guys, we're halfway there to doing it. We are the best team in England by quite a margin as well. Chesterfield have won the Premier League. I mean, it only took us 10 years, but freaking hell, we got there in the end. We still can't win the FA Cup though, can we? Chelsea have done it this time. And there's no Carabao Cup either. I can't believe in 10 years we haven't won the FA Cup, by the way. That's mental. But there's a solid chance we can win the UCL as we've topped the league phase, only losing 1 out of 8. And we beat Roma in the round of 16. We smashed City in the quarters. And we smashed Dortmund in the semis. We're playing Leverkusen in the final. It just had to be them, didn't it? It all comes down to this. We've already made Chesterfield the best team in England, but can we now make them the world's best? Oh my god, I actually hate Leverkusen. I hate Leverkusen so much. You couldn't just let me have it, could you, Leverkusen, man? Xabi Alonso, go suck one. I am so gutted, man. How do we smash Man City, but we can't beat Leverkusen? I mean, look at the state of this team. You're telling me that Bayer Leverkusen somehow managed to get a win over us? Nah, FC25, mate, you're broke. I suppose the positives are that these stats are genuinely tremendous for our final campaign. Look at Vonich, for God's sake, 30 goals and 6 assists. That's insane. But just like Bromley, we are unable to win the Champions League. We came so close as well. This ain't over with me and Chesterfield. I will win them the UCL in FC25. Mark my words on that. But the overall stats for the end of this takeover, Vonich is our top goal scorer, Eamon is our top assister, and we won 3 trophies in total. But that's where we're wrapping this video up, guys. If you've enjoyed this takeover with Chesterfield and want to see more content like this, leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button if you're new, get 1k likes on this video, I'll do one more lower league takeover. But in the meantime, if you want more content from me, YouTube recommends you to watch this.